Welcome to all you Cancerians for your monthly horoscope for Cancer for 2016 in March. Now, this is interesting for you, you Cancerians. In general, of course, these are general horoscopes. Don't forget this. In general, this is not a bad month for you. They're not really the key areas of your life are highlighted here, but this is a month where you can work on other levels, and it's more on a mental level, I think, for you, on the higher mind and on your health level, or your day-to-day work routines. So let's break this down a little bit. Now, first of all, the solar eclipse is very important. The lunar eclipse is a bit less important, and I want to make those videos not too long, so let's focus on what is really important here. Solar eclipse is in Pisces, which is good, which is fantastic for you, because this shows that Pisces is a follow water sign, so this is really not a bad thing, because this is going well with your energy. Now, I put a link to another video about eclipses and about the Saros family. If you think, what the hell are you talking about? Just check it out if you're interested in astrology. But this eclipse, the flavor of it, the eclipse belongs to the Saros 18 South family, and this is an eclipse about endings and about new beginnings and about new situations coming up that have a very positive new outcome. So why is that? Well, the eclipse of the sun and the moon together in Pisces, next to the south node, which is all about letting go, in the sign of Pisces, which is all about letting go, next to a Chiron, which is all about the wounded healer, and next to Saros, which is all about nurturing. And you Cancerians know all about nurturing and supporting other people, because that's a big part of your identity. All of this is triggered, and because it's all next to each other, the sun and the moon and Saros and the south node and Chiron, all this conjunction, all these planets in your ninth house. Ninth house is a very mental house, so this for you has to do on a mental level. Having Saros, the asteroid, next to Chiron means that there are things that need to have to go when it comes to things that are not nurturing you anymore, and that are actually becoming a bit too painful, maybe, for some of you. And so what is the ninth house? It's on a very basic level. It's your ideas, your higher mind. So a lot of Cancerians are seeing, look, this idea, this opinion, this way of thinking is not longer suiting me. I have to let that go. Maybe a lot of you have had some tunnel vision towards a certain item, and it could be simply that you're saying, look, this is no longer serving me anymore. On the contrary, this is becoming a bit painful, and this is no good. You know, it blocks me from growing. And you do that, you release that. That is possible with this solar eclipse on the 8th of March, but you feel it the whole month. This energy opposes Jupiter in your third house, and where the North Node is, where you need to go. So your expansion is all about a new way of thinking, a way of thinking that has more to do with a logical sense. Cancerians are very intuitive signs. They're very psychic as well. But this constellation shows that for this particular month, it's a bit better not to follow too much your intuition, but follow the facts. So this is just an advice for you Cancerians. It's not always going to be like that, but for this month in particular, it's better to go towards the facts. What are the facts in any situation, whether it is a relationship, whether it is has to do with a job or what else? Go for the facts. Don't go for the intuition now, because there is a need for you there is where the North Node is. Growth is in your practicality of knowledge, in your being very practical, looking for the facts. This is the fact, so if then else. You know, a very logical way of thinking, which is not really Cancerian-like, but you know, this is what the planets are saying for this month. So just try it out and you will see that it serves you absolutely. So a lot of letting go of old thoughts, a lot of letting go of maybe thoughts that weren't nurturing you, maybe letting go of a study that you once did and now you're saying it's not helping anymore, and maybe a new study that is becoming more important for you, a new skill that you might start, or planting the seed there, because the new moon is about new beginnings. So you're planting a seed there. Maybe you're starting with a new course, and it will show itself more when we reach towards September time, where the other eclipses are happening. So this is all very okay. It might not be the most important area of your life. It's on a very mental life that you are going through some sort of transformation. And that is good. You're going through a new way of thinking. Things are becoming a bit clearer because of that. Now another focus of energy. Oh yes, and this Jupiter in your third house is very much beautifully aspected to Pluto. So that new way that you're accomplishing, that new way of thinking, is not going to be there just for this month. It's going to be very profound, and it's going to maybe someone is helping you with this, an important person in your life, because Pluto is in your opposite sign, and this is trining Jupiter. So maybe a business partner or someone you work with or a loved one is really showing you this new way of thinking, this new way of believing, this new way of understanding the world on a very practical, on a very down-to-earth basis. So it's not, I'm just sensing the intangible. No, it's going towards groundness and towards facts and figures. I know it may not sound too interesting for you Cancerians, but this is how it is. Now, last but not least, Mars and Saturn. Mars and Saturn are in your 6th house of Sagittarius. Mars enters Sagittarius there, and where Saturn is. And Saturn will be there for quite a long time. It goes back into your 5th house, and then it goes back into your 6th house. In other words, it stays there, and it's doing a process that goes on up until August. Remember that I said in my February videos as well that I want to see a bit broader these horoscopes that I'm doing, because, you know, I believe in the Sagittarian look of the helicopter view. So what is this Mars-Saturn all about? 6th house can be two main things. It's your day-to-day work, your day-to-day routines, or it's your health, or both of them. So there is something that needs to be tackled here, that needs to be taken responsibility here, that needs to be done, but in a rather slowly but surely. That's Mars Saturn at its best. At its worst, maybe you're getting your buttons pushed. So someone is really triggering you. Could be the case at work, or it could be the case that, you know, your health, you're sensing that you need to make changes there. Whatever it is, don't run away from it. Don't put your head into the sand, because it's going to get worse. The best thing is to take your responsibility, show your integrity, count to 10 when it's a colleague, and deal with it. But it will take time. So Mars is going to be there for a long time in that 6th house. So this is showing you have the time to revisit it, to rethink about it. It's a good thing to launch something new in March when it comes to work, when it comes to health, but you will revisit these things. So don't rush into big changes when it comes to work and health. Do it step by step, in a very mature, in a very Saturnial kind of way, because Mars is your actions and Saturn is slow, but perseverance. So if you have patience there, that's the best option that you can take to get the most out of this. So for a lot of you Cancerians, there are changes going on in work, but it takes its time. It's like maybe you have to deal with a bit more workload. could be the case, and but whatever it is, it's very difficult to escape from it, and it's better to tackle it, but take it one step at a time. And that's the best advice with the Mars Saturn there. It's mastered action. So again, don't watch out for ego struggles at work as well. Be the smarter person, and take your steps wisely but surely, and do that in the most mature way that you can, and then you will do well. So, interesting month. The same with health. If a health issue, small or big, is coming up, don't run away from it. Tackle it. Do something about it. But again, do it slowly but surely. Take it a day at a time. And maybe it can simply mean that you are going to fitness 3 times a week, for instance. With the Mars Saturn would be fantastic. Instead of just doing one thing a week. A very interesting month for Cancerians in a way of changing their thoughts, but also in a way of changing their routines. You've got the time for that, changing work, changing health. And the other eclipse, which is on the 23rd, so the solar eclipse is on the 8th, the 23rd, there is an eclipse in Libra, and that is, of course, more on an emotional level, that when it comes to homework, there can be some issues that come up, or if you have been working very hard on something that relates to work or home, it can be the the culmination of that. So thank you very much for watching, you dear Cancerians. I wish you a very good month, and see you next month. Bye bye.